So this is probably one of the most important videos I've ever made, and it has nothing to do with anything that I do on this channel. What I'm going to talk to you about today is an option available to most of you in the CARES Act that was passed by Congress months ago that gave us, those nice little $1,200 checks and all that stuff like that. Inside that CARES Act, there is a exemption that hardly ever happens. We are allowed to get a one-time disbursement of up to $100,000 out of our 401k or 403b retirement accounts. This disbursement is without any of the usual 10% early withdrawal fees, which happens if you try to take money out before you're 59 and a half. Also, the tax burden of the amount is going to be split into 3 years. So if you take out $30,000, you only have to add $10,000 for the next 3 years to your income and pay the taxes on that. When you take the money out, you can go ahead and have your prorated tax rate. Most people's nominal rates are between 10 and 15%. They'll take that out right off the top, or you can just choose to deal with that later. Now, this is really important because for years and years and years, the government has kept putting restriction after restriction on what you can do, how much you can contribute, how much your employer can match, and everything to a 401k or 403b. This is why options like the Roth IRA are great, because you can contribute up to X amount of dollars per year. And if you ever are in a pinch, you can actually get that money out. You can't get out the money in excess that you've made, but you can at least get that money out, which is a great thing. In a 401k or 403b, it is there unless you have a complete hardship. Now, if you have been affected at all by the COVID, so whether you have had your hours cut, which I have, your income cut, which I have, and I'm a frontline healthcare worker, my fiance also has as well, or if you test positive or you're furloughed or anything else like that, you can do this. If you're like me and you started a 401k or something when you were like 19, 20 years old, or maybe even when you were older and you have that money setting in there now, I encourage you to look into this. The GDP in America for the second quarter just reported today down 32.5%. The NASDAQ's at an all-time high. The Dow is almost at an all-time high. It's going to be a slow economic recovery for sure. There's money to be made. People will say, the financial liars out there will say, if you take $50,000 out of your account, then you're throwing away $200,000 down the road. Maybe, but probably not. And the good thing about this is that you can actually pay into all this money back. And if you take out the full $100,000, the only thing right now that they will not allow you to do is when you retire, if you decide to pay an annuity to yourself, and let's say you have $1 million in there, they're only going to let you tap into $900,000 of that for an annuity. So this is a pretty good deal, especially if you are on certain sides of the fences when it comes to politics and money, because this benefits a lot of people that are out there, and everybody, I think, has been affected by COVID in one way or another. So if you have to stay home because of childcare, if you have additional childcare expenses, because now all these classes are going to be virtual, people are going to have to take time off, all of this stuff adds up. Don't be throwing money on the big credit cards and paying all the high interest and everything else like that. This is an opportunity for you to tap into the money that you've been saving for 25, 30, 40 years that, who knows? We might not ever get to see if something were to happen to one of us before we turn 59 and a half and we're able to get into that money. So I encourage you to take a look at it. If you're really interested, you can just go and search all the articles. This is a legitimate thing. Right here is all the information that you need on irs.gov. It tells you exactly what is going on. No penalties, taxes waived over 3 years. So it's a win-win, especially if you have been, maybe you didn't understand financial investing at a younger age and you just put all this money into your retirement account and it's just kind of there and you rode the ride up, and maybe now you can, this is your way to take a little bit off the top. So I encourage all of you to check it out. If you're interested, check with your employers to see if it's available. It literally, for myself, was like a 5-minute phone call and that's it. And I have some money coming on the way. And, you know, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not happy about it. It's definitely going to help put me and my family in a better situation because now I can put that money to work instead of it just sitting there, not doing anything for the next 2 or 3 years. I could put that money to work in other ways and make more off of it, or save from paying interest on like credit cards, home loan, car loan, anything else like that. Or even if you just want some extra money in the bank in case something happens, to stock up on that food or have that 3 to 6 months of preparedness when it comes to cash, when it comes to food supplies. Maybe you have a family member that doesn't have those kind of things available. Maybe you're concerned about them. Anything goes. If you've been affected by this in some way, you are eligible for this. Look into it. Good luck and stay safe.